Okay guys, so here we are. The trailer for Rise of Unicron showcasing the Decepticons just came out. I'm gonna react to it and give you my thoughts on it. So this is gonna be like much like how I did for the About one about a year ago. We'll be doing the Decepticons now. It's a minute and 33 seconds, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Again, my first time viewing. Okay, here we go. I hope this is not copyrighted music like last time, otherwise I'm gonna have to mute it. I'm calling it out, that's all you slick. Okay, Barricade. Alright. Alright. Wait, what? Oh, this is definitely copyrighted me. Oh, Unicron's horn! Oh, this looks so good! Oh, it's Brunt! I think. Oh, Warpbomb, I think. Alright, transform. Come on, let's see those robot modes. Ooh, there's Megatron. That has to be Megatron. It is. Oh, wait, what? A green stinger? Dead end. What? No, wait, that's dead end. What? Okay. Pandemic? Barricade.
They will be reminded to fear us.
Ooh, dude, like that lip sync on Megatron, that was great. 3, 6, 7 Decepticons. Okay, no mercy. Oh my god, okay, I don't know if this was better than the Autobot one. We actually got like footage of how the movie's probably gonna look like. Oh my god. Gee, I need to process. I need to watch this all over again. So there's 2 dead ends? Okay, I need to process. Oh my god, Jesus. Bro, okay, everyone got an upgrade. I like the new Barricade. He's back to being black. Oh my god, dude. I am blown away. Okay, so now we're gonna break this trailer down and talk about some of these characters, because actually I got given some exclusive info. Yes, a Fire Brothers exclusive, everyone. And I don't think this info has been shared just yet, especially since this video is probably gonna release about half an hour after the actual video drops on YouTube. So first off, I want to talk about the green motorcycle. Okay, so first things first, this was actually female. It is actually a girl. Her name is Whiplash. I'm pretty sure this is an original character, because I don't think there has been a single character in Transformers before named Whiplash. And this does keep up with the Michael Bay habit of, like, you know, adding new Decepticons that never appeared in anything else before, because Michael Bay did that a lot.
Genius.
And Rise of Unicron is trying to stay as faithful to, like, you know, the way Michael Bay used to do things back in the day. I mean, characters like Stinger, Nitro Zeus, Mohawk, the Driller, and so on never had any counterparts in Transformers before this. They were basically new characters made exclusively for the movies. So a lot of the Decepticon roster is mostly made out of new characters and some, you know, old characters from classic Transformers, which I don't have a problem with. I think that's kind of cool. But you know what? I'm a bit disappointed that there's not oil slick. Literally, she has the perfect color scheme to be oil slick. And she's also equipped with a whip that she uses against her enemies. I'm not gonna lie, she's kind of tiny in comparison to the rest of the roster. So I'm kind of curious to see how they handle her in the movie, because the RC sisters didn't really last that long. And this is actually such a cool design that I kind of hope that they don't get rid of her right away. Not gonna lie, to me, she kind of looks like if Stinger and RC had a baby. I still think it's kind of cool. It's probably the weakest design out of the bunch, but that's not because she's bad, that's just because everyone else is just so incredibly strong that she kind of falls behind a bit in comparison. We don't get to see it properly in the trailer, but she actually has wheel for legs, much like RC did. Also, fun fact, her hologram driver is actually a dude, and I think it's kind of a bit of a wasted opportunity to bring Mustache Man back, but hey, it is what it is. The next character I want to talk about is already one that we've already seen before, and that is Barricade. So Barricade here honestly doesn't have a lot of changes, and that's kind of by design because the last night Barricade was already such a top tier design that, you know, it's like how fellow Cybertron Megatron said, you know,
Never improve upon perfection, Soundwave.
that design was already perfect, so making that one even better will definitely be kind of hard. There are some small changes here and there, but they're very minimal, and for the most part, it's just TOK Barricade with a slightly different head, a new color scheme, and of course, he has his classic red and blue back, at least when he turns on the lights. I think this looks way better on Barricade, don't get me wrong, I like the blue and white, but the black and white just went so hard in the first movie, and seeing the TOK design with this color scheme just looks even better. Also, it's a small detail, but I really love how Barricade's like little, you know, machine gun in his left arm lights up with his orange hue as a way to indicate that his bullets are harder and stronger now. So Barricade has gotten a bit of an upgrade, and as far as I'm aware, he's also the second in command of the Decepticons this time around. So maybe he got an upgrade from Quintessa or something along those lines. That remains to be seen. And then we got Brunt, who out of nowhere, you know, crashes the Decepticons party, starts shoving some people, some of the Decepticons, which I think that was kind of cool. He has a bumper stick that says locally hated, and yeah, my guess is that the rest of the Decepticons just don't like this guy. He is hated. So in the movie, it is very likely that he's gonna be some sort of an outcast among his fellow Decepticons. Here we have a close-up look at him in robot mode. He has like this weird little flamethrower for his right arm, and his head, he has like this monocle, like this like bigger eye, and then he has like little eyes right next to him. I'm not gonna lie, his head looks like a modified, you know, TOK Megatron head. I think that's what they were going for. I think it's a tad bit too obvious for me, you know, like I see it, it's very hard to unsee it, but then again, in the Michael Bay universe, the Transformers, especially the Decepticons, have a lot of reused parts, and the rest of him is original enough to the point that I can forgive that. And also, getting a closer look at him, he also reminds me an awful lot of Transformers Universe Contagion. Like, the way their faces are shaped and stuff like that, and the way their bodies are kind of formed, it gives me some Contagion vibes. If, you know, if Contagion was all rusted and in the Michael Bay universe. Like, I like him, but I would have changed the way the middle of his mouth is, because he looks too Megatron-ish, you know? I feel like his battle mask, or like the way his face is shaped, could have done some more further changes. But honestly, I kind of like him. He does look like a, I don't know why, but he gives me weirdo vibes. His vehicle mode is so different from everyone else. He's so rusted. It doesn't seem like he gets along with the other Decepticons. I think that Brunt is gonna be a very interesting character, but I can't tell you why. I don't know. Like, he feels strange, but in a good way. Okay, so next up we got Psychon, and fun fact, Psychon has like this little, like puffing man little drawing with the Decepticon head on top of it. I think that's kind of cute, that's kind of cool. That's something that we also saw in the Michael Bay movies a lot, like some of the Transformers would just have like this weird, you know, like funny decals on them. Most famously, the twins had a bunch of that in Revenge of the Fallen, so it's nice to see that they're keeping that motif. And apparently, Brunt doesn't like him quite a bit. Now, looking at Psychon's run mode, he got a massive, and I mean massive redesign. Because in case you guys don't know, Psychon used to look like this, and now he looks like this. And yeah, I think this is a much better glow up, because while I like the old Psychon design, it looked too much like Lockdown. This looks way more original, and I like it quite a bit. And I like the way his face is shaped. It reminds me a lot of the Transformers The Game Megatron. I don't know if you guys remember. I love the cutscenes with Megatron. Always had him smiling. Always had him with his mouth open. And it was done like that because they didn't have the model, you know, rigged for his mouth to move and stuff like that. So in a lot of the cutscenes of the game, his mouth was always open. And I always thought that made him look more creepy. Like he's always smiling. Like he's always in enjoyment. This Psychon looks like he always has his mouth open. He has like this weird tubes going into his mouth. Well, I kind of like the old, you know, like weird asylum look they gave to him. This makes him look more freaky. He has a chainsaw too, and I think chainsaws are cool, so yeah, I like Chainsaw Man. But like when we get a close-up of his face, you can see that there's like a weird thing in between his teeth. I'm not gonna lie, this kind of reminds me of like Nezuko's like little pacifier thing that we see in Demon Slayer. Like legit, I think that's what he has. I think he's like so fueled with anger that he has an active pacifier of his mouth just to like suppress his anger. At least that's the vibe I get from him. And in my opinion, I think that out of all the new characters, oh yeah, by the way, Psychon is an exclusively new character. He was never in anything Transformers before. But I think that out of all the new characters they made for the Decepticons, Psychon, in my opinion, is without a doubt the best design out of all of them. I think that might be a bit controversial because I think more people are just gonna gravitate towards Deaden and Warpbomb, who I'll talk about in a little bit. But I don't know, Psychon's design is just so simple, and I love the color coordination that we have amongst the Decepticons here. One's yellow, one's green, one's red, one's black, one's orange, another one's like dark brown, and then we have Megatron silver. This is definitely the most colorful Decepticon cast we have gotten since TOK, which is kind of weird to think about. But man, I just love this design. This is so cool. David, if you're watching this video, please send me the model of this guy in an STL file so I can print it and paint it. I know how to 3D print. I know how to paint now. I will legit do this free. I need to have this guy in my collection in some way, even if it doesn't transform. Also, as I'm rewatching the trailer all over again, I want to say, I just noticed this, but like, the beginning bit with the Decepticons is a weird, messed up parody of the Transformers Prime Info. No, like look at this side by side. You can now tell me that this wasn't intentional. But anyways, going back to the Decepticons, now we have Deaden. Now, Deaden is a serial killer. He's directly inspired of Revenge of the Fallen Deaden, in which, you know, he was basically a recolor of Sideways with a weird, you know, messed up mouth, because he kind of got turned into a zombie. The comics is a long story. It's not canon. Don't worry too much about it. But I love that he has like this daggers that, like, you know, flip from like the side of his arm onto the front. I think that looks so cool. He kind of gives me ninja vibes, I'm not gonna lie. Something that I find very interesting about Deaden is that he doesn't have his, you know, iconic, you know, mouth. And I find it kind of weird that he doesn't have that feature, that his most iconic, you know, movie feature is gone from this design. But then I took a closer look at his head, and if you guys can see behind like his weird gas mask thing, you can see there's teeth, razor sharp teeth underneath that mask. So just like how Psychon had earlier on in his concept art, you know, that weird mouth guard thing that will keep his, like, you know, mouth, you know, close from everyone. It looks like they gave that to Deaden. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the film, like, they basically, you know, shoot or like slice Deaden in the head and they knocked off his mask, and then we just get the reveal that he has like his teeth that are just craving to, like, you know, suck the energy out of someone. So he does have like the vampiric factor to him. It's just that it's not like blatantly obvious. I really do like Deaden's design. It reminds me a lot of the Transformers Crossfire's version of Deaden, you know, but much cleaner and a bit slicker to like fit in with the TOK AoE, you know, Transformer style of robot designs. And I really like it. Like, I think some people are gonna be bothered by the fact that we don't get to see his razor sharp teeth on him, but like, I feel like they did that intentionally, and I think that when the movie comes out, we will definitely see it. At least that's what I hope, because if we don't get that, I'm gonna be a bit disappointed. But other than that, I think he looks great. I kind of wish his blades were a little longer. They look kind of small and a bit puny. I would have liked it if they were giving him like size wipes, like, you know, over the top long blades, but this works too. Like, I think it could be cool, depending on how, you know, Deaden's character plays in the movie. The next character I want to talk about is Warpbomb. Now, Warpbomb got a massive redesign, because in case you guys don't know, Warpbomb used to look like this. This was Warpbomb in the early concept art, and now his Romo looks entirely different. He got a massive upgrade, or downgrade, depending on who you ask. Also, like, look, this really doesn't factor into anything. Honestly, it really doesn't matter in the big scheme of things. But I absolutely adore how when Warpbomb, you know, climbs into the road, we can see like the back side of him, you know, having different physics compared to the front side. It's such a minor detail, but I bet that took so long for the animators to do, and I bet that almost no one watching this trailer appreciated it until I pointed it out. But yeah, Warpbomb looks like this now, and by no means am I saying that the design is ugly. I think the design looks very good, but I kind of like how chubby and small looking the other Warpbomb design looked like. I thought that was cool, and I really did like the claw. Instead of having the claw, this guy now has like this two like plasma cannons, which reminds me a lot of Bumblebee's plasma cannons. He appears to have a gas mask, and his guns can also transform into like hands and fingers of him to use. So it's not like he's just stuck with those two blasters. But I still think that Warpbomb looks cool. His vehicle mode also got some changes, and I kind of like his vehicle mode now. His royal mode, he definitely feels more like the tank of the group, the second largest Decepticon as part of the group. Which, by the way, he's almost as tall as Megatron. Like, he's not quite up to his size, but he's almost as tall as him. And speaking of which, we also got our first look at Megatron's vehicle mode, and of course Megatron's last member of the Decepticons, the most obvious one. There's really not much to talk about him, and I kind of wish we get a closer look at his jet mode, because it does look like it actually got some changes to it. If you guys can see here, it's very hard to tell, but it looks like they replaced the TOK wings with the wings from the 07 model. As you guys can see here, if I put this side by side with the 07 jet mode, you can see that there's actually some very striking similarities between both forms. The vehicle mode has changed, and this whole like little scene of Megatron jumping into the air is also supposed to be a homage to the 07 movie. So yeah, the changes are very much intentional. Now, at first glance, Megatron looks exactly the same as he did in TOK, but Megatron's model actually has quite a few changes that are not very noticeable at first glance. So first of all, the maze. I think the maze, and I could be completely wrong about this, I think it's straight up just taken from Transformers Online. And yes, they are taking references from Transformers Online, because I know when they revealed the design for Blackout. And by the way, the main Decepticon roster that we have here is gonna be that. It's the main Decepticon roster, but it's not the full roster. Don't think that in this movie there's only gonna be 6 Decepticons. Because we know Blackout's gonna be in it, I think Shockwave and Starscream are also gonna be in it, but likely in the form of a flashback. And we do know that the Blackout design got inspired of heavily by the Transformers Online design. So I think this maze is also supposed to be inspired by that version of Megatron. This Megatron also has quite a bit of red in him. You can see during this scene, there's some red on his shoulder. In the art here, there's some red on his riot cannon. In a very blink and you'll miss it moment, he actually has the Age of Extinction Gabatron chest shredder thing. Like if you pause it when Megatron's swinging his sword at just the right moment, you can actually see the shredder from it. Is it a bit weird that they brought that back? I mean, it is. I mean, it could be a lot of things, honestly. I don't know, but like, it definitely looks like the Age of Extinction shredder. Kinda hope that it is the shredder, because it will make this Megatron and the Age of Extinction Gabatron, you know, more connected. Because if you watch Age of Extinction and TOKs, like out of nowhere, Gabatron just, you know, dies off screen and then turns into Megatron. But this design, like this little change, connects those two characters more closely. It makes the transition from this Gabatron to that Megatron more, you know, natural. And I actually really like that about this. There's also some other minor changes to his design, but they're very minor. For the most part, it's just TOK with like a slightly different coat of paint. But yeah, I think this looks great, honestly. The Decepticon trailer was probably the one that was the most hyped about, because, don't get me wrong, it was nice seeing the Autobot trailer, but for the Autobots, we already kind of knew what half the roster looked like. I think Cliffjumper and Cogman were really our only two biggest surprises, but the Decepticon roster, for the most part, is all brand new. So I was definitely more hyped for this one. Now, like I said, not all the Decepticons are here, because we're still missing Blackout, we're missing Starscream, Shockwave, Thundercracker and Skywarp are also missing. And of course, there's also Quintessa who's missing, and Lockdown too, if you want to count those two, though I know there's some people who wouldn't, but yeah. So very quickly, I want to rank them from best to worst, like S tier. Like, honestly, I think all of these designs are, like, you know, really, really good. I don't think there's a single bad design here, but some are definitely better than others. So very quickly, I'll just rank these guys. So first off, in C tier, I'm gonna put Whiplash. Like, again, it's not a bad design, and I'm honestly very excited to see what they do with Whiplash. But compared to everyone else, I feel like she is the weakest design by far. I think the weird mask is kinda cool, but I feel like she's not that unique, you know? Like, there's a lot of, like, the Arcee Sister DNA of this design, and it doesn't make it completely original. It's cool, and I think the green works really, really well. But I'll be honest, I think this is the weakest design by far. In B tier, I'm actually gonna, this might be a bit controversial, but I'm actually gonna put Brunt in it. Now, I actually really love the Brunt vehicle mode. I think the vehicle mode looks great. And he does look like a weird, messed up scientist type of guy, and I think that's what they were going for. My biggest complaint is the face. I think the face looks too TOK Megatron-ish. Like, put them both side by side and you probably see what I mean. It is a very minor nitpick, I know, and I still think he looks great, and I can't wait to see what he does in the movie. But I think he is B tier. Not a bad design, honestly pretty good. It's just a minor nitpick that kind of bothers me. For A tier, he's basically the characters that I have little to no complaint with. I'm gonna put Warpbomb here actually in A tier, or like even like high B tier. And also it could be in either or depending on how I'm feeling like. Like again, the old Warpbomb looked very different from the usual Transformers body type we see in the movies, and I kind of like that. And this one, yes, he looks more imposing, which I kind of like, but he also lost a bit of the uniqueness that the old Warpbomb design had. I still think he looks cool. He definitely has like that bulky warrior type of look that I actually really like, and I think his vehicle mode actually got an upgrade. So I am pretty mixed on it. Like, I don't know if I like this better or if I like it a little less. But you know what, I'm gonna put him in A tier. I don't have that many complaints with his design in general. I think his design looks good. It's just comparing him to the old Warpbomb that I'm like, I don't know, I kind of prefer the old one a bit, but this one still looks really cool. Then I'm gonna have Dead End here. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted to put Dead End in B tier because he looks good, but like I kind of miss like the whole, you know, weird misshapen, you know, ghoulish mouth that he used to have. But when I started looking at his design a little closer, I saw that he actually did have the mouth, it's just hidden. And I think that's actually cool. It gives his design a lot of depth. My only complaint here is that I wish the blades were a little longer because they do look a bit puny here. Like, you know, I would like it to be sideswiped long, but I also get why they might not want to do that. Again, this is a minor nitpick, and overall, I think he looks really cool. Now, this might be cheating a bit, but Barricade just goes here in S tier. TOK Barricade was already such a really good design, and the changes they did to ROU Barricade, they're very subtle, but if you look close enough, you can actually see them, and I actually think this improves the design, and I think the color scheme is way stronger. Moving past Barricade, I'm gonna put Megatron there. Again, kind of cheating, because TOK Megatron is like my favorite movie Megatron design. The mace looks so imposing. I like that way better than the sword, even though I really did like the sword. Though it would be much better if he had the Dark Star Saber. And this works too. I like that they added some writing him to make him stand out a bit more and look a little cooler. I think Transformers Online did that too, and that Megatron looks really good, so that was a really good change. And his vehicle mode changes, they're very subtle. I know you can say they're very minor, but like I like that they're trying to tie it back to, you know, 07 again in terms of the vehicle mode. And actually, now that I think about it, this Megatron has a bit of everything. He has a bit of 07's Jet mode in his vehicle mode. He has Age of Extinction Galvatron's Shredder. He has the Revenge of the Fallen Megatrons, like different arms, you know, one looks a little more imposing than the other. All that he's missing is a really cool cape from Dark of the Moon, and then all comes together.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
And now, about Megatron, this might be very controversial, but I'm actually gonna put Psychon on top of Megatron. I think this is probably the strongest design out of this whole Decepticon cast. Again, not counting Skywarp, Thundercracker, or Blackout, because we haven't seen like their full render models just yet. But I think this design looks very sick. I love the subtle details with it. I know he's just like a car that we've seen tons of cars, but the way the wheels are shaped, his, you know, body is generally shaped, it looks so different and so unique that I can't help but love him. I think this is probably my favorite design out of the whole bunch. And you know you did something right when I say that I think this looks better than Barricade and Megatron, and I want to 3D print this. But yeah, Psychon looks cool, and this will be my overall Decepticon tier list. But yeah, guys, that was the trailer for Transformers Rise of Unicron, my breakdown of it. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Again, thank you to the people behind Rise of Unicron for sending me this. Thank you to Martini, David, and of course my main man James, who I keep forgetting to name in my videos. I swear I was not doing it intentionally, I just forget. I don't know why, it just happens to me. But that's my obligatory James shout out. Now donate to my Patreon, become a channel member, and give me a bunch of money. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video, the Decepticon character trailer. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. Do you like the roster? Which one is your favorite? Are you upset we didn't see more Decepticons? And which one do you think will die first? Because let's be honest, the Psychon cast rarely makes it out of these movies alive for the most part. And since they're trying to stay so close to the Michael Bay formula, I am willing to bet that a large number of these characters probably doesn't make it out alive. I'll be completely honest, as much as I like Psychon, I feel like him and Whiplash are probably gonna be the first ones to go. Yeah, that's my prediction. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. By the point you guys are watching this video, I am in my home country at the moment, enjoying my vacation. So as soon as this video gets released, I'm gonna get the notification. I'm probably gonna be like checking this video alongside of you. So if you guys wanna say hi or like tell me your thoughts on this, like just do it, and I'll probably answer your comments later in the day after I'm probably done, you know, being on the beach and doing some like vacation stuff. Yeah. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoy. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do that annoying YouTuber stuff the algorithm likes so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, guys.